Hello and welcome to Mindshift. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of stepping into our best selves. Today, I'm talking about the ideas that we surround ourselves with. Now, I know that some of you that do listen to my show have heard me talk about the peer group that you surround yourself with. You're the average of the 5 closest people to you. The same is true about the ideas that you surround yourself with, the content, the information that we are bombarded with every day. It can hijack our mind and it completely distract us, or it can fulfill our mind. It can give us new ideas, and it can actually support us and bring us towards our dreams, our goals, the future that we most want to show up. And when we really start boiling it down to these simple concepts, we can start asking ourselves, is this getting me closer to where I want to go? Is this bringing me higher? Is this bringing me forward? You know, a really awesome story that illustrates this is from one of my superheroes, Peter Diamandis, who has done some really incredible things. But when he was first starting one of his organizations, his partner, kind of as a joke, hung up Murphy's Law above his desk, which goes, if something can go wrong, it will. And Peter Diamandis, who's all about mindset, creating and cultivating the mindset that's going to most bring us into our dreams, our goals, the life that we're creating, was kind of irritated at this simply because he had to stare at this every day and it was just getting under his skin. So he put above his desk what he calls Peter's Law, which is, if something can go wrong, fix it. To hell with Murphy. And I absolutely love this because it just is such a better mindset. And it got me thinking, how many times have we heard this law and just kind of accepted it as correct? And then things started going wrong in our lives, or started going wrong in the people that you see kind of adopting this mindset. It is a very fascinating thing. What we focus on is what shows up. The content that we surround ourselves with is what starts showing up in our life. And if the content is kind of negative, it's always talking about what's wrong, always talking about the problems, then we're kind of stuck in this mindset that is not helping us progress towards the future we want. So, what is the future that I'm creating? This becomes one of the most important questions. If we don't have a target, we miss it. It's also another quote from Peter Diamandis, but it's so true. If we don't have something we're going towards, then we're always going to end up just wherever. There's going to be no goal in mind. And as a result of that, we don't cultivate what is coming in and out of our lives. And we wonder why chaos and circumstance and all this stuff is kind of what's controlling it. The information we surround ourselves with and the content we surround ourselves with determines the quality of what will show up in your life. What does this mean? Well, when we turn on the news, what happens? There is a lot of stress that shows up. There is a lot of worry, a lot of fear. It's designed that way. Why? Is because our brain pays attention most to these fears. It was designed as a survival mechanism. But in today's age, they've researched, literally put billions of dollars into this. That way they can keep our attention. And the news is so good at it, right? We always know the horrible shit that's happening. And as a result, we kind of get frenzied, and we also want to share this. Well, it's also not helping progress us towards where we want to go. Because I know most people don't want to be in a frenzied mind state, don't want to be fulfilled with fear. And if we're fulfilled with fear, we can't have access to better ideas, have access to better information. Are the ideas of the closest peers pulling us closer to what we want to show up in our life? It's really a beautiful guide to show us who's meant to be in our lives and who's not. And once we realize this, then we can start cultivating all of our surroundings to really help support and help us thrive in ways that we never even knew possible, because we've never done this. We've never really cultivated all of our surroundings to support us in where we're going to go. It is such an incredible superpower, is to be able to cultivate this, to be able to have direction of where we're headed and being able to have all the things supporting us in that direction. Dr. Amen, who is a brain expert, also another superhero of mine, doing amazing things with his, it's called the Amen Clinic. It's a brain clinic that is all across the world, where he has taken over 200,000 images or so of different brains and what's going on with them. It measures the electrical activity and the blood flow of the brain. And he designs protocols. If you want to read some of his books, he has some really, really good one. Your Brain is Always Listening, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, The End of Mental Illness, all amazing books. But he puts it like this: is this helping or hurting my brain, and specifically my brain health? What a powerful concept. Is this helping or hurting my brain? Because if we help our brain, we help our entire body. If we help our entire body, we start moving in a direction that is much, much better for us. And everything just kind of starts supporting each other as a result of this. So when we're eating whatever we eat, drinking whatever we drink, if we boil it down to the simple question when it comes to health, is this helping or hurting my brain? Then we can have a better understanding of how we're showing up, why we're showing up the way we are, and be able to do better. As the saying goes, know better, do better. If we don't have the information, then we don't have a target to hit, we don't have a direction to go, and anything can show up. We can drink at night, we can watch movies at night, we can do all these things that hurt our brain, hurt our sleep, and as a result, wonder why we feel kind of crappy the next day. We wake up lethargic, we don't get recovery in our sleep, and we're not measuring anything, we have no direction, we have no target, so nothing's really supporting the health that I think most of us actually really want. Most of us want to be healthy, want to thrive, don't want to feel like crap every day, want to get good sleep, and want to recover. How do we do that? Well, we just simply ask ourselves, is this helping or hurting my brain? And then start doing the things to cultivate a healthy brain. Things like diet, nutrition, not watching TV right before you go to bed, putting blue light blockers on before you do look at a screen, especially at night if you're trying to get better sleep. So it just really comes down to setting that direction, asking with your peer group, with your content, with the information, with the ideas that are popping up, is this helping support my greatest goals, my greatest dreams, my greatest aspirations? Because if we don't ask ourselves that, then we don't have the direction. We don't have that target. If we don't have that target, then we just are kind of going aimless into our future. So what are 3 things that you can do today to help cultivate that future that you want, help cultivate the ideas that you want to show up in your life, help to support where you're going? Number 1 is to get a book. Just get a book on one of your passions, whatever that passion is. It doesn't matter. Just get a book and start reading it. It will start helping your brain go in that direction. And it could be Audible even. If it's Audible, it's great because you're able to put it on while you're driving, put it on while you're cleaning, put it on while you're walking, put it on while you're working out, whatever it is, and really feed your brain the information that's going to support your dreams. That's really what it's all about. If we can just completely cultivate this environment that is supporting our dreams, supporting our aspirations, supporting where we want to go in life, it means that dream, that goal becomes inevitable. You're building the habits that are going to support the most abundant, most amazing, most thriving future that we're all trying to achieve in our life. When we do this, then we start putting ideas together, we start putting the puzzle pieces together, and we really start going and thriving in that direction. We start making progress in that direction. And as Tony Robbins says, progress is happiness. Progress equals happiness. So what can we do to, support our greatest future? Get a book on one of your passions and just start reading it. Start putting that information in your brain. Start surrounding yourself with that information. Number 2, talk about those passions. Get up and start being proud of your passions, whatever it is. I absolutely love space. I love the cosmos. I always have since I was a little kid. I stopped talking about it. I stopped surrounding myself with things that were space for a while, and I wasn't very fulfilled. I was kind of aimless, and it wasn't helping me get to the future that I want. As soon as I remembered that this is my childhood dream and started doing everything I can to talk about my passions, support my passions, get information in there about my passions, learn about the cosmos, the more I'm fulfilled, the more I'm making progress towards it. And what once was impossible for me is no longer impossible. And that is a superpower. That is absolutely amazing. It's also a guide of who's going to support us. If we're talking about our passions and people just don't care, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to engage, they always are trying to, talk about something else, talk about what's going on in the world, talk about the crap, talk about politics, talk about whatever, then they're not your people. They're not supporting you. They're not supporting your passion. They're actually trying to bring you down to their level of information, of their level of what they surrounded with. And it's a beautiful thing because it can be a guide to us. It can be a guide to who's actually there, who's actually supporting our dreams, who's gonna be there, and who wants to see you succeed. Oftentimes, we think everybody wants to see us succeed. It's simply not the case. A lot of people could not care less if you succeed or not because they don't see that level for themselves. They don't understand that we can do literally anything we want in this lifetime. We can create whatever we want in this lifetime. And, some people can understand that concept, but still not be supportive of you because they don't believe it for themselves. The more we talk about our passions, the more we create opportunities for people that are going to support us, people that are going to be there for us, and people that are already further down the path that are excited about some of those same things, that is going to create more opportunities for you to live your greatest dream. And that's amazing. Number 3, go where you're supported and celebrated. Go where you're supported and celebrated for these passions. Go where people are asking you about the things that you're talking about. For me, almost everywhere I go, people are asking me for little brain tips. These people that get excited about these brain tips are my people because I want a healthy brain. A lot of you also know that I've lost 140 pounds, I've upgraded my brain, and I've reversed some diseases as a result of everything I'm doing. And if I'm not able to talk about that, if people aren't supporting me in this mission, they're not my people. Go where you're supported, go where you're celebrated. I cannot stress this one enough because when you're celebrated, when you're supported, then you feel good about your passions. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about your dreams. When we're not around people that are doing that, we're drained. We feel tired. We don't feel good. Why? Well, it's because it is this inner guide of being where we're not celebrated, being where we're not supported. We want to be loved. We want to be supported. We want to be celebrated. And when we're not, it completely brings us down. It completely changes the energy within us. And as a result, it changes the ideas and the content that's popping up in our life. If you don't have an opportunity to talk about your passions, if people don't want you to talk about your passions, they are not your people. You need to be around people that are supporting and celebrating you for who you are. They don't have to have the same passions of you, but they have to be excited for you, wanting to know more about what you're into, about what you're wanting, about who you are, and vice versa. It gives us an opportunity to do the same for those people. But we definitely do not do that when we're not going to those places where we're supported, where we're celebrated. When they're constantly an energy drain, we really don't want to engage too much in this conversation because it doesn't make us feel good. So again, get a book on one of your passions, start reading it, Audible, whatever. Talk more about those passions. It creates more opportunities for you. And go where you're celebrated, go where you're supported. it really, really is a game changer on how we show up and where we're going and bringing in that future that we really most want to create.